No.
Yes.
No, there.
Good afternoon, good morning, or whatever time this is to you, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of Let's Give It a Voice here at the Voice of Hope Media with myself, Clarice Angafor. Today, we have three ladies on our show, and our topic of discussion is Mom Guild, the juggling of children's needs and running a business. This is actually another edition and another episode of this same topic. We've had this before because of popular demand and a lot of interest expressed in this topic. So we decided to have another episode. So you're welcome once more. If you're watching, invite your friends, do a watch party, you have questions, be ready to ask them because today we are going to be talking with moms. They are not just any ordinary moms, but they are mompreneurs. They are moms who are working, they are running a business, they are also taking care of their families. So I just want to welcome you once more. I am Clarice Angafor, and this is the Voice of Hope Media. At the Voice of Hope Media, we are the leading voice of hope and empowerment, and we give a voice to those who are facing complex life challenges and those who have special needs children. We give a voice to those social issues where people find them very emotional. People say they are sensitive. Some other people see them as issues, topics which we just have to brush them under the carpet and we don't talk about them. Maybe for personal reasons, or maybe because it the thought of these issues, they may be challenges they've faced in the past. They bring up bad memories or they bring up sad memories, and what they do is they shut down and they don't want to talk about them. But here at the Voice of Hope Media, we give a voice to these issues because I know that what we give a voice to has the power to heal us. It has the power to save the world. It has the power to make massive change in every individual. And most often, we give a voice to experiences which we've had because experience is what you gain when you didn't get what you wanted. You're welcome once more. I'm going to usher in our guest. So I'll bring in Patience Abonge. Our next is Linda Williams, and our next guest is Nathan.
Hello.
You are all welcome, ladies, and thank you so much for honoring our invite today. Welcome once again. So,
Oops.
thank you guys for
Hello.
watching.
Hello,
Uh,
everyone.
Hello.
Hello. If you are watching, you share, invite your friends, and get your questions ready because these ladies here today, they have a voice. Each each of them has a story behind they have a reason why they started a business. And so, yeah, so we are going to hand over to them to introduce themselves. So I'm going to start with you, Martha, to introduce yourself.
That's like putting me on the spotlight. Hi, everybody. My name is Martha Ning. I am a mom of two boys, and a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. And as well, I am a anesthetic nurse. I've just qualified with my postgrad in specialist community health and public health nursing and specialized in occupational health. I own a franchise with Juice Plus as well, and I'm juggling all of that with my two boys. plus their activities they have to do, and my own activities and work and everything else, plus business. Anyway, here I am today, um, to speak to each and every one as much as I can, how I've managed my life up to now with my two boys, how I've juggled things around. And well, I'm learning as well as I'm going along, same as everybody. And I'm here to answer your questions as needs arise. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And we are so grateful for you accepting our invite to come on our show today. And we are really looking forward to hearing from you. So we hand over to Patience. Patience, you are welcome to our show. And introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Clarice, for giving me the opportunity to be on your show. I was meant to be on last week, but for other reasons I couldn't. So I'm happy to be here today. My names are Patience Abonge, and I'm a mom of two kids, a boy and a girl, and my son who is autistic, as you, Clarice, know.
Yeah.
And I do support work. I'm a support worker, and I equally have, what will I say, a small business that I run in my house, a hairdresser, and yeah, that's just it. So I am here today to share what I know about the little business that I do, and equally any other questions that you've got out there for me, I'm ready to answer them. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you once more. Hello, Linda. Over to you. And thank you for coming back to our show today on a different topic. Welcome once more, but we would still like to get your introduction, what to do, and yeah, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Um,
Hi.
yeah, I'm really honored that you have me back to come back to the show.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it was a pleasure to be part of the panel last week. Was it last week? Last couple of weeks.
Last Saturday.
Um, yeah, yeah, again.
Mhm.
I'm Linda Williams, and I'm here today on Mompreneur because I'm one of them. I um, I'm trained in finance. I've always worked in finance, um, mainly in like manufacturing industries, but I would I've worked in the accounts department because my background is accountancy. Um,
Mhm.
so I've always worked in the accounts department, but um, other things that I've done in the past. I also have a background of implementations, and so kind of finance and implementation. And in recent years, I've kind of started my own business, which is Ndia's Designs, and that's in the designing part of things,
Mhm.
dealing with textile designing and creating products. So I do have my own line of textiles, and I have products that I create, bags and purses. And what actually drove me to this in recent years is a combination of, what life throws at you. So I'm sure we're going to talk about that a little bit deeper as the show goes along. So here I'm combining my experience in finance and um, my recent knowledge in designing and my craft. I'm doing my own business and I'm really loving it. Juggling life, family life, and running your own business, especially as a mom, is quite challenging. And it's why we're here to talk about it and to let other people know, let you who are watching us know that you're not alone in that. And we're here to talk about what we're all facing. So, yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring our invite once more. And if you're just joining in, you are watching The Voice of Hope Media with myself, the host, Clarice Angafor, and our topic of discussion today is Mom Guilt. the juggling of children's needs with running a business. A lot of moms struggle these days with childcare, having to go to work 9 to 5, doing night shifts, and with the sudden outbreak of this pandemic, so many of us have had to lose our jobs, or some others have been laid off. And also, so many of us have seen the need of having, most often, they call it a side hustle. Yes, there's always that need of having a side hustle, a second income for the unforeseen circumstances, because right now we cannot predict the future. We cannot tell what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's absolutely necessary that each and every one of us has a side hustle. And the moms, these moms I have here today, each and every one of them has a story, and they want to give a voice to that story, which is the story that led to them to them becoming a mompreneur. And there are several reasons. There may be different reasons why they decided to become a mompreneur. We all are going to hear from them. So as you are watching and as the show goes on, I'll be popping in with a few short videos of what each and every one of them does. And I actually have one of them ready here with me. We'll just have a quick look at have a short video, so we have an idea of the type of businesses which they are doing. And that is Patience Abonge. That's just the tip of the iceberg of of what she is doing.
No, no.
And I am privileged to have been one of her models. So we dive straight to our questions. Yes. So we will start with okay, Martha. you know, let's start with you. What inspired you? What motivated you in getting in becoming a mompreneur? What is that story behind your mompreneurship?
Hello again. Thanks, Clarice. Well, my able in law for letting me into the show.
Mhm.
Honestly, I'll start with you first before I answer your question. You're such an amazing woman. Honestly, you inspire me. You are my role model. I'll put it that way.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
You are an inspiration to me. And I'm here. I'm like, why would I be doing just one thing? I need to do more, you know,
mhm.
not just for me, but for generations and generations to come, especially my children. Like they always say, you can't just be working 9 to 5. One day you will be sacked from your job, and what are you going to be left with? You know, so that's one of the things that inspired me as well to start to be an entrepreneur. Being a mompreneur. So it's about leaving legacy for the family, for the children to grow up to, and again inspiring the children. You know, that they can always, beside their 9 to 5 job, there is business around. I personally, I grew up in a business family. My mom, she's a business lady, and
Mhm.
she started doing business since when I was young, at the age of about 3, 4. And I've always, that's in Cameroon, in Douala. She owns 2 shops for decorations, accessories, and sewing your clothes, like what Linda is doing at the moment. If you were in Cameroon, I'll definitely be directing you to my mom's shop in Douala. And so I've always grown up in that business surrounding. My mom would travel far. right? She travels to Nigeria and buy goods and bring, and then we have to sort it out and
Mhm.
package them, you know. Without, imagine if my mom was working a 9 to 5 job, trust me, I wouldn't have that at the background of me that at least I need to do a business on the side. My dad was working, he used to be in the military, but the salary wasn't good enough, you know, to feed the family. You know what, like the African families are.
Mhm.
So growing up now, me having children, what can I teach them? My mom is not here, you know, and what can I teach my children? It's not just about going for a 9 to 5 job and coming back home and that's it. You need an extra income, especially given this pandemic time. Not just the pandemic, before the pandemic, I mean, inflation was quite high, things are skyrocketing. So we needed that extra income. So that's what prompted me, you know, to be a mompreneur, teach the children as well. Because I keep telling my son, he knows when I'm on my business line, he's like, oh, mom is doing business right now. She's on her juice plus. Let's leave her alone. So he knows, I'm fully aware of that, you know. And they're like, oh, mom, when I grow up, I want to be like you. I said, yeah, I'm going to hand this down to you, you know. So at the end of the day, it's about being that role model to the children, teaching them and everybody around you that it's not just one job you can rely on. There are other things. You can be creative, you know. If you can be creative, that's good. Be creative, be unique in your own way, how you design your own stuff, how you want to build your own business and manage it around your life, around your children, and around your family as well.
Mhm. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for that. And Pei, over to you. What was the inspiration? I know even the shortest hair that even the shortest hair, I know you can do something with it. And I know your hands have magic on them. Tell us your story. How did you start? What inspired you?
Okay, thank you again. And growing up, like Martha just said, she came from a business background.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same thing with me. I spent most of my childhood with my grandmother, and she still owns an African where when back then it wasn't as common as it is today. So she owned a shop in Bamenda in the main market, and I started going to the market when I was about like in primary school, right up to when I was about in class 5. So I used to go to the market basically almost every day, right up to I got married. So and there were times when she used to send me to Douala to go do the shopping when she wasn't feeling very well. So she was kind of teaching me how to do business. So I used to go to Douala and I do the shopping for her and I come back and put the pricing on the goods that I had purchased from Douala, being that young.
Yeah.
So she instilled that business independent lifestyle in me because she was an independent woman who raised 5 kids all by herself, including grandkids like myself. So she taught me how to be independent, to, work for your own, not depending on a man. It's good to have a man support you, but you need to have something of your own. And
Definitely.
so it was just inborn. It's something that's been in me for a very long time. So I just had to carry on or crack on with, yeah, like I said, a man can support you, but you 100% not depend on him because you have your own stuff as ladies that you want to do. And then getting into my business of hairdressing, it came from a place of passion.
Mm-hmm.
I loved doing hair when I was about in primary school still. Like every doll that I had, I could braid their hair.
Mm-hmm.
On the grass, I would braid. So it was just something I was so passionate about. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just, practicing on any cousin of mine. In the university, I braided my friend's hair. Anybody I saw, I was just obsessed with doing their hair. So moving on to, because I lived in Germany for 6 years before coming to the UK. So
Okay.
when I fall bush. So while in Germany, I didn't have a job. So I just had to make, cards. I've got something that I'm passionate about that can equally bring income. before
Yeah.
I ever get something to do. So I just had to print. I remember printing my number, just my number. Any black girl I saw on the way, I just gave it to them. So
Wow.
yeah. And I've never gone to learn how to do hair. That's the funny thing about it. So on my own, with YouTube now, I just had to learn how to do it and kept practicing to get to wherever I am today. And equally doing that, I've inspired myself and equally looking at inspiring other young girls to trust in whatever they're passionate about. There are things you're passionate about, especially in the world today, that can lead you places. Your passion can, you can cash in on your passion, like I always say. So it makes you independent, it makes you strong. I mean, people look at you differently
Mm-hmm.
rather than, just staying at home and not having anything to do,
Yeah.
like hustle or side job. Because you have a main job, but it's good to have a side hustle
Mm-hmm.
because you have a lot of other things that you need to do with money.
Yeah.
So that's just all about that. Can chip it.
Wow, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. And I would also like to add that I think pursuing your passion as well makes you happy. It gives you that inner peace, kind of self-fulfillment in a way. If you give yourself time to understand or to learn to know what your passion is and you make use of that passion, I think you derive some happiness after that. Thank you. And so over to you, Linda. Let's hear from you. What inspired you?
Hello again.
Well,
Yes, well done, ladies. I think we all have something in common. Our moms.
yeah.
And it's so important that we have this conversation today because it's what we do, we pass down to our children,
Mhm.
not knowing what that knowledge is going to do for them. Just like you both, or you three, I think. Like, I'm sure you also have something, inspiration from your mom. So I'll say for all of us, or most of us,
Mhm.
um, I was also inspired by my mom, right? But that's not what actually drove me to do my business today.
Yeah.
What actually drove me to do my business today, I can, to sum it up, I can say it's a combination of my joys and my tears. Because in as much as I had that mold from my mom at the background, my mom being a mompreneur,
Mhm.
and in Cameroon we used to say she's a housewife, but
Yes.
she was way more than that. I think with the knowledge that we have today, we know that they were more than just housewives. They were
Mhm.
mompreneurs, project manager, everything.
Yeah.
Hands-on ladies, femme capable. It was one of my mom's
Mm.
group was called femme capable. So each
Yeah.
time I used to think of that, I'm like, my mom was capable of doing anything. So I draw inspiration from that, and it helps me. So
Yeah.
back to like where I personally started this business today
Mhm.
is it's a combination of my joys and my tears. Because I would say joys because I love my craft. I'm a very hands-on person, naturally, and I really thank God for that. Because if I want to do something, I'll go ahead and do it. I have
Yeah.
that courage to go and try to do it. I would try and fail before accepting that, okay, I can't do this thing, but I have to try. But
Mhm.
I kind of have that inborn creative side of me, um, without a doubt. And then also the skills that I learned from my mom, like sewing, just by watching her making clothes for herself and for us. It also
Mhm.
helped me. All that knowledge is transferred to be able to do my business.
Yeah.
For my tears, I'm just getting cut short because we have lots to talk about. For my
Yeah.
tears is because of my heartache that um, something happened to me in 2013. I lost a baby to stillbirth. It was horrible. I know there's no better way of saying it. I lost a child.
Yeah.
That is it. And there's nothing that can push you as hard as when you have a really strong, how can I say? really strong, sad. Something when you hit really hard and you're thrown to that deep end, you also need to be strong to come out. You need support, but you also need there's a need for you as a person to be determined to want to come back up because you
Mm-hmm.
just can't keep sinking.
Yeah.
So that drove me. That really, really drove me to like do everything in my power, even though at that time, excuse me, at that time you realize that look, this one is more than me. I can't do anything about it. But you have to try. And when you're trying, you take baby steps and soon you realize something beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
really, really small in comparison to what you're supposed to have, but
Yeah.
really small, although small is beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
something really beautiful can come out of that sad place. So with that at the back of my mind, I just kept putting one foot after another, and here I am today to do my business because I was desperate to live again. I never ever knew or believed I was going to be able to smile. That's for sure. People who know me really closely can testify that I never thought I was going to be able to smile. And when I realized that I could smile again, I started taking baby steps with all the other support around me, and I started doing something. So going back to my crafts, with encouragement from friends and so on, and I just started doing little by little. While I was still working in finance, I used to do my jewelry. I make earrings, if you can see that. So
Yeah.
I used to do my jewelry, and I'll make a little catalog and take it to work, and people be like, "Oh, no, Linda, you're so clever. Can I have that, please?" And then they'll order things. But I didn't take it seriously because, like we say, there's always a side hustle. I thought it was just a side hustle then, so I didn't take
Hello.
it seriously. Hello, baby. I didn't take it serious.
Yes.
But when I was hit by this trauma,
Shut the
I
door, please.
fell back to those existing skills that were already there because
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to live again. In my situation at the time, I was on maternity leave with no baby.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to do?
Yeah.
It was a horrible thing. All the place I prepared for him to come home, he didn't come home. I had to do something. So what I was doing to live again, I just tried in little ways. One of them my craft group and all the support groups, which time permitting we'll talk about it. Yeah. So that's what drove me. Tears and joy. Yeah.
Uh, and we remember Keith, baby Keith, right?
Baby Keith, yes, always refer to him as Baby Keith.
Mm-hmm. We will
Oh yeah.
always remember him, and he's also rejoicing with the other angels up there in heaven. And I must say that truly you are really hands on because I've watched you design a play garden for your son.
Oh.
Yes, just like the ones you have at the nurseries. And I actually have a face mask made by you, designed by you, the fabric designed by you. I must really praise you for that. And with your story, what pushed you to become a mompreneur? That's an example of what we say you turn your mess into a message.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I would say. And this is an example of a woman who knows that no matter how hard you are hit, you still find a way to get up. And that when you fall, you look up because when you look up, it's easy to stand up. So we continue. Well done to everyone. And we are going to go to our next question. And well, I'm tempted to still go back to Martha, but this time around I'll go to Patience. Say what being a mompreneur, like doing your business, what are some of the benefits you get? That's benefit to yourself as an individual, benefits to your kids, and benefits to the entire family. So if you break it down like that, it'll be easier.
Um, to begin with myself,
Hmm.
I would say as because I'm a mom, I'm married as well.
Hmm.
It makes you as a woman for your man to look you with some high esteem or respect you, let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
To know that he can get support from you wherever the need arises,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me feel happy to know I can step in when the need arises. And to know that you can do stuff for yourself and equally help external family members and friends as well without asking that support from your husband. It's something to be proud about. And equally, personally, it exposes me to, because I am in an industry where I meet a lot of people. I cannot count the number of people from different nationalities and that I've met. It has exposed me to cultures because sitting on my chair for 2 hours, even an hour, I have conversations with people that I can say I know about Malawi, I know about Ghana, I know about Nigeria, just because they come and sit there and we have that meaningful conversation,
Mm-hmm.
which is good as well to, though I'm in my house, I'm doing a business, I'm still exposed to the world somehow to know what's happening out there. And it equally gives me that self growth, empowering my own self, and equally making me feel happy to know that I empower other women because I get those compliments from other women telling me, "Oh, can you guys go out? I'm on online. Yeah, I'll get back to you later." Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So it makes
Your mom
me
brilliant.
Yeah, mom
it
friend.
makes me feel yeah, it makes me feel happy to know that I can empower other women because they make me to know I do that, which is a great thing to know. You empower other women to do what they like and equally do a side hustle that can help them personally and help other people.
Yeah.
And for my kids, I can't be more grateful. Just like I said, my grandmother instilled the business in me and I used my passion to follow her footsteps. I would equally want to pass that on to my daughter who is already interested in doing what I do. Just knowing that she's already picking something, it's something good to know. And equally the fact that, there are times that you just go out and you want to get something for the kids. You don't need to tell my husband, oh, can I get this for my daughter? Can I get this for my son? You just go ahead and do it because you are that independent. You've got that extra money to do stuff without asking.
Mm-hmm.
And equally, I'll go back personally how it helps me in the sense that there are things I equally want to do at home that you don't need to tell your husband or ask his opinion about doing everything. So you can just do stuff without asking.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes the man proud and it reduces the friction or the conflict at home. Because I think of a situation where if you do not have that extra income to give that extra support, there's equally going to be conflict all the time at home when the man tells you, oh, I can't do this, I haven't got enough money. I don't think that home is going to be a happy home. And so that's equally a point to say it helps my family as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I can
All right. Yeah,
say for
brilliant.
now.
Thank you so much for that. And over to you, Martha. What do you think are the benefits to yourself, your boys, and the rest of the family?
Well, for my boys, honestly speaking, it's like being a role model to them, um, showing them that like I said before, it's about showing them that there is more to do besides your studies or beside jobs that they'll grow up to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gives me, well, basically my business is Juice Plus that I do. So what is Juice Plus? Juice Plus is about, it's basically organic fruits, vegetables, and berry blends that helps to boost your immune system. It nourishes the immune system. It gives you um, extra vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we actually don't consume every day. So what it is inspiring them as well, my children, that having a balanced diet is good for their health, you know. So it's about building up from a very young age that eating your fruits, your vegetables is very important, and which they've already adapted to it, and they're very keen and they're looking forward to it, even though they have it. So again, it makes them feel strong. So it makes them feel healthy. I don't have to worry rushing to the hospital and all that. The minimal thing they do suffer with is cough and cold. But again, it's another way for them to know that besides every other thing in life, there's always a way that they can always build themselves up. They can always be creative with other things, you know, with business or any other thing to make money out of it. Yeah. And for me, my satisfaction, basically, I decided to join Juice Plus because I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to live a life around my children and be there for every activity that they do, be it your what is it called now? The assemblies they do at school. I want to be there. Their sports day. I want to be there. And if
Parent
I work in
evening
all, sorry,
and parent evening.
yes, and be there for their parents' evening. I before in the past I feel left out and I felt so bad as a mom when I didn't go for their activities. And my son would ask me, Mom, why were you not there? You know, as a mother, it's so painful. What kind of answer are you going to give to your child?
Yeah.
Yes, you need the money, you need to look after them, but they need you there as well. So how do I go about this? So I decided to venture and get a franchise with Juice Plus. So I could be earning extra money, working less. You know, I like to work because you go out there and meet people, same as with Juice Plus as well. I've met amazing people, a lot of people as well, people that I've learned from, and I'm still learning, you know, amazing women and men with which they've actually enhanced and broadened my knowledge in so many things that I was lacking. Because sometimes, you know, you just do your 9 to 5, you meet the same people every day, you don't learn, you don't expand your knowledge. But with Juice Plus, I have learned a lot and it's made me to be independent, resilient. I've learned to be consistent as well. And I've also learned to manage my time because it's not easy as a mompreneur. You have to manage your time between your children, between your family, your job, and everything. So, I mean, but it has given me that freedom, working part time and doing my Juice Plus, which eventually, in the long run, I'm looking forward to be very, very independent and just manage my own business, you know. And for my family as well, it's giving us that extra income. I don't have to worry so much again by the end of the month that, oh, I'm only left with this amount of money I'm being paid monthly. You know, you have that extra income that comes in and it gives extra help to the family. It reduces the stress as well in the family. So that's another thing. So you can be able to afford or help your family as much as you can with the extra income that you're earning. So it's one of the things that gave me the inspiration to decide to have a side job. Let me put it that way.
Okay. That's brilliant. And if you are watching, just know that being a mompreneur or having a side job has lots of benefits based on what you've heard from Martha and Patience so far. So we are going to go over to Linda. Linda, what are the benefits to you as an individual, to you as a mom, to your entire family?
Yeah, there are loads and loads of benefits. For me, um, in regards to my background story, after losing that baby, I'm sorry, I'm always going to talk about it. It's part of
Oh,
my life, and I
All
can't.
right.
It's fine.
I
yeah.
It's
cannot
part and parcel
talk
of your life.
about it.
Yeah,
Yes. So
and let me just reiterate that, like I said at the beginning, here at the Voice of Hope Media, we aim to give a voice to those issues which most people find them find them too sensitive, too emotional, or most people expect these issues to be brushed under the carpet. And the ladies who are sitting here, their stories have pushed them into becoming mompreneurs. So it's just normal that they will always refer back to their stories. They'll always refer back to what led them into becoming a mompreneur. And Linda is one of them. And her story, even though as painful as it is losing a child, the memories stay. Because you've lost a child doesn't mean that the child is no longer a part of you. So feel free, and do not, I would say, do not apologize for mentioning your child who is in heaven, because we understand.
Thanks, Claire. Thank you so much for that reassurance.
Mhm,
Um, we know if you're in this in our shoes, you understand that it's if we smile about it or laugh about it, or talk about it in a joyful from a joyful front today, it means that that journey has come a long way. So
yeah.
for me, it has come a long way if I can mention his name and just smile.
Yeah.
So God blessed us with another child, Nathan. Yes, it was like it's the best thing that ever happened to us, best thing that ever happened to me,
Mhm,
to hold a baby in my hand and heard him cry. Right now, if he's crying, I'll be like, "Oh, why are you crying now?" But that day, I was longing to listen to that cry. I was longing for it.
mhm,
So, having said that, I wanted to do everything. I wanted to protect him. I was desperate to just know that he was okay.
mhm,
I wanted a reassurance. I didn't see myself to go back into work. As a matter of fact, when my contract that year ended, when I was still working in finance and I was pregnant with him, when my contract ended, I was like, oh, I just want to rest until I have this baby because the pregnancy was just so same period and I was very nervous given what happened before.
mhm,
So for me, the benefits that I reap being a mompreneur is the fact that I'm able to spend so much time with this child. I said to myself, when he's like 1 year old, I will go back into work and I would, you know, get back to normal.
mhm,
But that year just flew by really quickly. I wasn't ready at all. I was like, why will some other person look after my child when I'm here? Why do I want to give this precious moment away to somebody else? Because I was seeing like some other person was going to enjoy the time with him.
mhm.
And I wanted to be that person.
Yeah.
So one of the benefits for me is spending that quality time with him. And I'm doing the best I can. Not perfect, just like everybody else, but I'm doing the best I can. I will take him to lots and lots of activities. He started going to mom's group, baby group at just under a month old, I think.
Mhm,
And I did that all along. Gave me the opportunity to meet with other people, to share ideas, to draw strength from other women, because when this new life is thrown at you, it's a whole human being of his own. You
yeah.
have to learn about him. So it helps me to also understand my baby better, helps me, gives me access to resources when I meet other people, like in the children's center. If I am, you know, concerned about this or that, I have that resources available to me.
Mhm,
And I'm not dashing about from work or trying to um, get, take time off work and stuff like that. So yeah, spending quality time with him is been very very one of my pioneer um, benefits. One of the things I really have at the top of my list to yeah. And also for myself, not just for the child, for myself, I find that working for myself gives me some sort of independence because we're our own persons. When we were in the university, for example, we were not thinking of, oh, I'll go to university, I'll come back and stay at home. we weren't thinking about that. I'm sure we all had these big dreams of we'll be working in so and so fancy places,
Yeah.
and but life when life happens, you have to readjust. And so for me, it gives me back that control of myself, control of my dreams, control of my independence, and like the other ladies mentioned, you have your own money to juggle things around. Helps you to put food on the table. You're like a support, at home. It's not just solely depend on your husband to do everything from scratch. So you can also do that support. You can just go and do stuff basically. um yeah, when I'm creating, when I'm doing my craft, and when I'm doing my sewing and all sorts of things I like doing, I'm in my happy place. So
Yeah.
it gives me that joy as well, that I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing something for me, I'm doing something that I love, and
Yeah.
then I have cash at the end of it as well. So yeah, I love that. It also helps to balance family life properly, because if you were one of you were to be available to go and do something, and you're both trapped in at work, not trapped in a bad sense of it, but you
Mm-hmm.
have that commitment, the other person is readily available to step in. So
Yeah.
yeah, it gives family life a really good balance. It gives you time to be able uh, to do stuff for your child and with your child. Yeah.
Wow. That's That's brilliant. Wow. So being a mompreneur has lots of benefits. If you're watching, you're not yet one, please start looking. You can actually start from your passion, and from your passion you can actually become a mompreneur. And I must say I'm really enjoying this show. I just want to thank you guys once more for being here today, and all of you watching. Thank you so much. Once more, our topic of discussion today is mom guilt, the juggle of children's needs with running a business. Yeah, because at times you may be too busy with your business or too busy with going to work, and you discover that those little guys are right there. You haven't given them the time, you haven't given them the attention that they need. And you may be present, but not there. Yeah. So being a mompreneur, there's a lot of flexibility in it, as we have heard from our ladies. Oh, we move on, we continue going. So looking back, ladies, what would you tell your pre-mompreneur self before you became a mompreneur? When you look back, what can you tell yourself? They?
To be honest, I've been in business not for myself, but
Mm-hmm,
I'll go back to say for my grandmother for a very long time.
mm-hmm,
When I was in uni, I used to do my own business. Like I used to go to Douala and get stuff, come and sell to the girls, or I always had something to sell. I remember one of my friends saying she would come to my room and meet for sale on my porch one day. That's how.
so, so you could sell basically everything there.
Yeah, she said one day I'll walk in this room and I'll meet for sale on your porch. Like that's how hardworking I was, like business inclined. I just loved the business idea. So if I have to say to my, I don't even know if I've got a pre, I was I, was a businesswoman before becoming a mompreneur, as I can say. I've always
Yeah.
been in business. Yeah.
Mm,
So
all right.
all I can say to myself is like what, I don't know, Martha, and then the other lady, I've forgotten your name.
Linda.
Linda.
Linda. What I'll say is because what she does as well is what I loved doing. I
Mhm,
loved sewing clothes, but on that one, my grandmother, back then the thing, oh, doing hair, sewing clothes was for school dropouts. So she didn't let me to do that one. This hairdressing was because I taught myself it's something you couldn't stop me from doing because I could do it at my leisure time, do it without you even knowing I was doing it. But
mhm,
with sewing and fashion designing and all of that, she had to pay for me to go and learn. So she didn't think, oh, me going to school, going to learn that So if I have to speak to myself, I would have to say to myself, you should have insisted on learning that, because I honestly loved. So I don't know if Linda can teach me maybe sometime later.
And I love doing hair. We have so much in common. Yep,
Yeah, so
yep. We can work something out.
That's quite amazing, and you are very should I say innovative, patient, and where's that fish? Which which water did you go to? You can
you
catch
want
that
to have how much I asked.
or 40 pounds too. Yes. So when you see a mompreneur, you see a businesswoman, she can turn anything into business. Even a conversation, she can convert a conversation into business. So, over to you, Martha. What would you
Mhm.
tell? Yeah, I know, mommy. I know, mommy has always been a businesswoman, and I know she made my bouquet for my wedding, and that's how I knew that those are the type of things that mommy Suzanne does. So, what would you tell your pre-mompreneur self before you became a mompreneur?
Well, like you said it all. Basically, before I became a mompreneur, I always been looking out for something to do. This is not the end of me. I'm still developing. That's what I'm gonna say. There's still more
Yeah.
to come. I'm still trying to find my way in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm gonna say is, it's about finding what you like to do, what you love to do, not like, but love. What your passion is. What you desire, what will make you happy. So that's what I was looking for. Still searching. This is not, like I said, this is not the end of it. And any other um, moms out there who are trying to still figure out what they want to do, what I'm going to advise is they should not relent their effort.
Mm-hmm.
Keep pushing. It starts slowly, with Juice Plus especially. I I own a franchise with it. I have my own website, which I 24/7, my virtual office. And I would advise them. We've now got Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, little media you've got out there. Use it. Don't waste your time on looking at people's pictures on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. I mean, learn from those people. Look out for people who are inspiring. They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So don't relent your effort. Keep going. You will get there. And which is what I did, which is what I'm doing. Some days
Yeah.
you have bad days, but like Linda said, from those bad days, don't let yourself drop. Pick yourself up, dust it off, and then get going. There is light at the end of the tunnel. That's how I'm gonna put it. And just resilience. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all I would say.
That's brilliant. Linda, what would you tell yourself, your pre-mompreneur self?
Now I was just reflecting on some stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just like tears and joys. Right. My pre-self, I would say, I'll tell my pre-self to start early, to not hold back. Like patience, my and um uh sorry, Martha.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a mompreneur,
Mm-hmm.
so I have this background knowledge of um, a woman in business. She was always doing something. She was so hands-on. She was always doing something. Even while I was in primary school, I remember helping to get stuff ready that she would be doing. She would be
Mm-hmm.
doing her business while we were in school. Anyway, flash forward. The reason why I said start early is because when I was in uni, I used to do hair. I'll go to school and do accountancy and do all the numbers and come back. When I had like a weekend, I had my friend. She's still my friend. She was more of sisters now, Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love braiding. So I'll braid my hair because I
Oh.
learned how to braid really early. And I'll braid my hair and braid Jenny's hair. Jenny can testify that. And when we went when we went to class to do our courses in the uni, people would love it. They will admire, oh, you always have this nice braid on. Who braids your hair? Who does your hair? And she'll say
Mm,
Linda. And at the time, I don't used to charge her for it, but Jenny is such a kind soul. She will give me something. She'll say, "You go and do your hair in the salon because I can't help you. I can't support you. So go and do your hair." So sometimes when she has it, she would give me, and sometimes I would just understand, like, if you don't have it, I'm not going to charge you. Just doing it for sister, sister.
mm-hmm.
So that has always been like at the back. But I never pushed that for like, oh, I can have a business of my own, you know? Sometimes the signs are there that you're going to end up being a businesswoman, but we don't listen. We don't listen to those signs. I would just do like a one off. To me, I was just having fun. And another thing that I did while I was in uni was my picture frames. I'm sure my friends who are watching or that remember me from uni days will testify. Some used to text me about it and send me pictures even till today. One sent it last a few weeks ago. Um, I used to make picture frames
Wow.
just like that. I, yes, and I'll make picture frames using cardboards and all, well, little things. And
Mm-hmm.
there are times when, while I was in uni, I'll think, oh, I've run out of pocket money. Should I go home and bug my parents that I need more pocket money, or should I try to leave? Should I try to make ends meet? And I remember I would just say, okay, I'm not going home. I'm going to
Mm,
sit here this weekend. I'm going to make loads and loads and loads of picture frames and I'm going to sell them. And I'm going to stop my parents from worrying. I won't phone them that I need money. And I did
mm-hmm.
that. And I really give myself a thumbs up for those early years because when you're young, there's always a tendency of asking and asking without understanding that our parents are doing their best and they're really, really stretching to make
Mm.
us be comfortable.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I never pushed that like, oh, I could be my own person. So my advice to my pre self would be, don't hold back, start early. Just try to see if you can do it. Just listen to that voice that's telling you that you were meant for this greatness because it is a great thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
We need to tell ourselves that we shouldn't wait for some other person to tell us it is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have things holding you back like loss because you
Yeah.
can go right down there after losing both parents not at the same time, one after another. It was quite devastating for me. And then there, a mom, my mom, and then my dad a few years
Yeah.
after, and then my baby. It was
Mm-hmm.
too much. It was like I needed a break. I didn't have that break for such a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I really had to do something to come back up. So if you have those things, those dark days, and those limitations holding you back, and you stay there, you will never get anywhere. So don't hold back. Just hold on to that tiny little branch of hope, the tiny little branch that is telling you that, oh, there is still life out there. Just hold on to that. Don't hold back. If you hold on to that, you'll be surprised at where life can take you. So my message to everyone out there is don't hold back and just keep believing in yourself.
Wow, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, ladies. That's really, really wonderful. And if you're watching, keep sharing, keep inviting your friends to watch. And once more, our topic of discussion is mom guilt, the juggle of children's needs with running a business. And so we are moving on to our next question. And um about the benefits, we've already talked about the benefits. Obviously, when anything that has a benefit will somehow have some drawbacks. So what are some of the difficulties you've encountered at running a business, having to manage the home and having to take care of your kids as well? And Martha, I come to you.
Um, well, some of the well, some of the difficulties that I've encountered are like, say, no, people have been negative. Yes, you've got negative people like, oh, how can you be doing that? Oh, you haven't, how much time have you got? And all that stuff. Or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes even in my Juice Plus business, when I introduce the business to people and people will be like, oh, it's too expensive. Oh no, I'm already using so and so vitamins and stuff like that, things like that shouldn't push you down because you always meet negative people. But I
Yeah.
would say no, don't respond to that. Just say yes, thank you, and then you go to the next person or you move
Mm-hmm.
on to your next activity.
Yeah.
Right. With the kids, with my children, doing my business at the same time working, sometimes it's difficult because when I come back home in the evening, I set myself time. Let's say between it's about time management as well. So those are some of the difficulties, how to manage your time. So between the
Mm-hmm.
time of let's say between 6 and 8 o'clock or 8:30, I make sure
Yeah.
I attend to the kids. But sometimes it's rather unfortunate because you come in, I might have a Zoom meeting at 8 o'clock. I've just home. So it's a little bit difficult. So I would try and rush things up so that I can focus on my Zoom meeting. Or I might be coming in while from work talking to a customer, you see. So the moment I'm popping in the house, the children are, oh mom, welcome. But I don't have that time to say hello, hi to them. Some of the difficulties, but it's about time management as well. It's about time management. Oops, sorry. It's about
Yes.
time management. It's about juggling the children and also making sure they understand what is happening
Mm-hmm.
and ensuring that you organize yourself, because sometimes, let's say Monday to Sunday, I'm busy. They need the activity, they need to be attended to. And then you need to run your business as well because you need that income to come in. You need that extra income. You need to work as well. So
Yeah.
it's a good liaison as well. You do have an understanding with your children, have an understanding with your partner, and then organize yourself. And with the negativity, I would say don't take no for an answer. No should be a challenge for you. That's for me. No is like is a challenge, and when you say no, the no is my challenge. That's where I'm gonna forge in and work hard to achieve that, which is what I've been doing. By the way, I am a single mom with two boys, and I have been doing it on my own, and it's been incredibly hard, but I've made it. It looks easy. Anybody that sees me will be like, "Wow, how are you doing that?" But it's all about me not taking no for an answer. So that's the advice I would give to anybody that wants
Mm-hmm.
to embark on a business or wants to move on with their life with every other thing surrounding, no matter the difficulties. Don't take no for an answer.
Yeah. That's brilliant. The should not take no for an answer. And remember, we are talking about mom guilt, the juggle of children's needs with running a business. Mom, in this case, it doesn't matter whether you are a married mom or you are a single mom, because most often the struggle is the same, whether being married or single. As a mom, the struggles are the same. So, Pay, what have been some of the drawbacks you've faced over the years running your business?
To begin with, I would say in life, everything that you want to do has got pros and cons to begin with.
Yeah.
There's nothing that hasn't got advantage or disadvantage. I'll be with
Mm,
you in a minute, lady. Yeah, I'm on the phone. I'll be with you in a minute. So everything has got advantage and it's got disadvantage.
mhm,
Before having kids, business was okay for me. You could just go to anyone's house. Like I said, I'm doing a service business, doing people's hair and beauty, other stuff. You could
mhm,
go to someone's house and just do their hair without caring about the kids because my husband used to be at work at that time.
mhm,
But having my own kids, my son is autistic.
mhm,
That's something that is a drawback to me. Not drawback in the sense that it's stopping me to do my business, but sometimes his needs have to be considered as well.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have asked me, "Oh, you're very good. Why don't you go and open your own place?" That's a very difficult and personal question for me because I always say I can't leave my son in the care of another person just because of a business. So that's why I do it at home because I can see him. He's in a safe place of his own.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an advantage. And I wouldn't say a disadvantage, but that's the reason why I can expand my business and take it out of my house because I have a son that he needs
Please.
to be around a comfortable place. I
Yes.
definitely cannot take him to a business side because of his special need.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so he has to be at home with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and equally, sometimes I feel guilty about the fact that I am not there 100%. Even though I'm at home, I am still not there
Mm-hmm.
because where I do hair is at the back of my house. They could be in there all by themselves. You just go in, check on them, and but it is what it is. I need to work. I need to bring the extra income. So time
Mm-hmm.
management has to play in at this point in time
Yeah.
where you know what to do and when to do it. Because even after doing my own business, I still have to go to work at night sometimes, which is a challenge. So I just need to know how to program myself, know when to do what. So because sometimes I get home in the morning, you have to drop them to school, pick them up, do someone's hair, you have to do all of that. So time management is a very vital factor, a very important factor for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some of the disadvantage when it comes to my business. And sometimes my husband is away as well. You have to handle the business, handle the kids, drop them at school, and every other activity. So, like I said, it is what it is. You have to manage your time and put everything to work accordingly and make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's all I can say.
Okay.
Well
Thank you.
done.
Thank you so much for that. And I must say that having a child with a special needs, most often we prioritize their needs and we work around them rather than them having to adjust to our own environment. We have to adjust to their own needs. Yeah, and that's all about being a mompreneur. Mompreneur, being a mom and being a businesswoman. It comes with different shapes, sizes, different colors, as we have heard. So it comes with different stories, and the most important thing is to hope and again not to give up whatever challenges you are facing. These challenges may delay your dreams, they may delay your aspirations, but they should not but they should not be stopped. And you have to push yourself as well to do what you have to do, what you want to do. So yeah. um Linda, any drawbacks, any difficulties you've had so far?
Certainly.
Mhm. Tell
Everyone
us.
has difficulties.
Of course, tell us. I
We
have
try to
a
work we
I
try
have
to
an
work around
idea.
them.
I have
Sorry.
an idea of one of them. Good.
So
Uh,
yeah, one of the really difficult challenge for us is inevitable is time
mhm,
management. You both mentioned time management. It is critical. Time is so critical in this mompreneur business.
mhm,
And yes, what I tend to do about this drawback is that I try to work with him, in my little one.
mhm.
Sometimes I work with him around if it's doable, because there are times when it's not doable. There are
Yeah.
times when I can't take phone call around him, for example. That's
Mhm,
challenging. For time, I'll think that if I need to do something, and he can be around me then I'll go ahead and do it. I can say to if I'm sewing, for example, if I'm just preparing some fabric, so if I'm just maybe working on my online shop, If it's his TV time, for example, because he do have TV time, if it's his TV time, I'll thankfully we have two screens. I'll let him watch a program on the other screen while I'm doing my online. If I don't want him to watch TV at that particular time,
Mm-hmm.
I will not put any of the screens on. I'll just say, "Do you want to go and bring your toy? You can come and play in here." So he'll be playing while I'm getting my stuff ready.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm doing, but if I don't, and I also have to attend to his needs. If I like him to be outdoors, because we do like our outdoors,
I
if
know.
I want him to be outside playing, just maybe he can just ride his bike around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would maybe put a little table outside, get my beading, get my beads and all my little pliers and everything ready, and I'll do some beading where I'm watching him and the other kids next door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we work around them. Even though we have these drawbacks, we try as much as possible to work around them. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
For things like, well, for some of us who have like challenging children, like in my case, my child has so much energy, he's literally climbing walls. So
It's
he
the
can't
age.
be quiet. He can't be quiet when I'm attending someone on the phone.
Yeah.
So that's very challenging. It's either I do text, or I do emails, or I just wait for when he's not around
Mm-hmm.
to do that phone call, to make those phone calls. We have to find a way to work
Yeah.
around them, unfortunately. Um, Also, sometimes I think we need to remind ourselves of the beginning of all of this. How do we become mompreneurs? And what really drives us, what really pushes us. So there are times when I just have to leave what I'm doing and just say, you know what, instead of trying to cut this fibre, because it's not every day that when I ask him to come and play in the room, he'll play nicely or by himself. He'll
Mm-hmm.
literally bring the toy to my face and I need to concentrate. So
Yeah.
on days like that, if I think that it's not working, I will just not try to work with him around. I'll rather try to enjoy the time with him
Mm-hmm.
and say, okay, maybe I'll get a little bit of exercise done. I'll take him for a bike ride. By the way, he's the one that motivated me to learn how to ride a bike. So
Wow.
thank God to our challenging children, they push us to our limits.
Uh,
So right now, I can proudly say I ride a bike thanks to Nathan.
Well
uh,
done.
So thank you. So I'll ride a bike with him. I'll take him to the park and do fun stuff with him,
yeah.
climbing whatever trees. So we do that. We do like our walks. We do like playing outdoors. I sometimes, if I don't feel like going out of the property, I would play with him in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
If it means just bouncing ball around,
Yeah.
make a few baskets here and there, I would just try to do that. And after that, you know what exercise does to you? We talked about that last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it gives you the cheerful the cheerful chemicals in you. So yeah, thanks to our energetic children and our energetic children, so they do make us to push ourselves to be more hands-on, to be more energetic, to be there,
Yeah.
and to be more patient, because if you don't have patience, you can't work with children or
Yeah.
work around children.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just those things. We try to do those things to just lighten the weight and lighten the burden, lighten the drawbacks and our limitations. Yeah.
Mm. Wow. That's brilliant. And I know you guys would have mentioned this because each and every one of you has, your mom or your grandmom has been a businesswoman, and they kind of instilled that um, spirit in you guys. So would you also uh, instill that in your children? I know Martha mentioned at the beginning that she's going to pass over or to hand over to her children, and Faye mentioned that she her daughter is quite interested in doing hair and in doing makeup. So, do you think generally it's a good idea for us being mompreneurs to um, let our children know? I remember a while ago I was doing decor because I have a little decor business. So, and I was encouraging my 10-year-old to put the chair sashes. Well, he was he wanted to be doing his own things. I insisted, and he came to me and he asked, "Mom, did your mom teach you how to decorate chairs?" I said, "No, she didn't." Then he asked me, "Then why are you teaching me?" Your mom didn't teach you, so why are you trying to teach me now to to do to decorate chairs? So do you guys think it's a good idea for mom to hand that over to teach their children? That's a good idea to have a business, to have a side hustle. Anyone can answer. I'm ready to.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry, you go.
I would say for me, what I'm trying to do is looking at my daughter, her interest, what she's actually interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe in business, you can only excel in what you're passionate about, what you actually love doing. So if she's not interested in hair, I can't, say, oh, because I do hair, it's profitable, you have to do it. Not for the money, but unless she's interested, that
Mm-hmm.
I'll build that interest. So I'll just have to look around and see what she's actually interested in, and I would encourage her to do it so long as it has to do with skills.
Mm-hmm.
Because our passion has to do with skills, craft, and any other thing. That's something that you can use as a side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Like now already, I'm already trying to build that, independence in her mind. She's only 5, but when we go to the shops and say, "Oh, mommy, can you get me baby alive? Can you get me this?" I realize that I don't want her to feel like, oh, she goes to her friend's house and she sees that. So what I've done is I've bought a piggy bank and I tell her, because I've got an apple tree, every morning, if you pick the apples, if you make up your bed, if you do everything nicely, I'll reward you with a pound to put in there. So every time we go to the shop and she's like, oh, can she get a Barbie? And I'm like, you've got money in your piggy bank. So you use that during Christmas to get whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So she has that in her mind every time she goes to the shop. She'll be like, oh, okay, I've got money in my piggy bank. I say, yes, you've got money in your piggy bank. That's why mommy goes to work hard, so she gets money to buy the things that you like, to buy the Barbies that you like. So you have to keep money as well to buy it during Christmas. So I've given her a time limit to actually know, oh, you can't just get it whenever you want to. So to me, I think that's a way of, you know, making her do something. It might be little, but it's already building in her that she's going to school, but she can do something to earn a pound or 50p or whatever she's earning to put in her tin. So I'll definitely encourage her to do business side hustle because I can see how beneficial that has been to me, the family, and to them as well. So I think it's
Okay.
a good thing.
Okay. Thank you for that. And Linda, what do you think?
Yes, I think there's a reason why even toys these days you have a cash register as a toy to teach the children that you don't get anything for free.
Mm-hmm.
In this day and age, you don't get anything for free. Even in those days, there was straight babata, so you can't have anything for free in life. So I think it's a good thing if we teach our children early, even through play.
Mm-hmm.
Use play money.
Yeah.
You play with the play fruits and everything, and I'm going to give you a pound, or like she said, or £5, and then you give me this. So we kind of incorporate that in our play.
Yeah.
Also, in the real world, like Patience rightly said, you teach them that, oh, if you do a chore around the house, then you can earn some money which you then use for yourself. I think it's important. Also, we saying this from our respective experiences um, and lifestyles. In my case, when I'm doing my DIY, I love DIY. So I'm not afraid to try new things. So my mother-in-law said, Linda, you've gone into carpentry. You're breaking my records. So I'll do anything. So when I'm doing my DIY, I get my tools around, Nathan gathers his tools around as well, his play tools.
Mhm.
And if I bought something and I like kind of putting it together, Nathan will go and get. He's so excited, want us to open um the package. He wants to help me to screw it and so on. Mommy, I'm doing it. Yes. So it makes them to understand early enough that they have to be part of a process.
Yeah.
It's team building that we're teaching them. We're teaching them that you don't just things have to be done.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I think it's a very good thing, a very good thing to encourage our children and to get them involved and for them to understand. If you watch my video, my short videos, or my if you follow when I was in the playground, you see Nathan was hanging around and he was so excited at the end of it to understand. He knows that mommy did that for him. I built a whole playground for him and he was yeah, he was excited. So yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Well, that's brilliant. Really, really encouraging. Thank you. Martha, over to you.
Well, I'll completely agree with Patience and Linda. To be honest, you start from young age, and I think from the young age, once you've instilled this in the children, they grow with it, and they will not depart from it. They will always have reference. Like I, for one, like Linda is saying with her tools and all that. I'm jack of all trade. To be honest, I do everything and anything once I put my mind in it. I remember when I was a kid, I think I was about 6, 7 years old, and we had this carpenter who came in and he had to redesign our chairs at home. I was there. I mean, given that in Cameroon, you know what? Everything is like, oh, it's boys doing hard work, girls will do the kitchen and all that. But I was a tomboy when I was little, when I was growing up. So I basically got myself involved in it, and this man was quite intrigued. And it's the same thing, even when I went back home in Cameroon to visit,
Mhm.
and our toilet pot, the toilet seat was broken. So I went to the shop and I bought it, to they call it kinkaris in Cameroon. So I went
Okay.
to the shop, I bought it, I brought it home, and my dad was like, "Oh, we're gonna wait for this guy to come and sort it out." I'm like, "What for? No, you're not going to do it. I'm gonna do it." So I did it, and he was like, "What? Yeah." I'm like, that will cost you some money when you call the guy to come and sort it out, the plumber or whoever to come and sort it out. On top of
Mm,
that, you have to give him beer. I'm here, I can do it. Why not? Again, doing that DIY, instilling it in the children is amazing. And
mhm.
being a mompreneur, I mean, whatever the children see you do, trust me, you don't have to impose it on them. They grow up and they will do it. So it's all about, again, their passion, what they would like to do. When they grow up, they choose what they like to do, what pathway, and eventually they'll come and ask you, "Oh, mom, how did you earn extra income?" And then you'll be like, "You remember when you were young and I was doing that?" Like, yeah. And then that will click in. You see them, doing their own stuff. So it's not about imposing, but do it, let them see and grow and make their choices, especially this society where we live in. You can't
Yeah.
impose anything on any child, you
Mhm.
know. So it's all about education and try as much as possible. I'm not perfect parent, but try as much as possible, do what you can do. Said, let us see the positivity in it. Because when I do it and I tell them I'm having extra income, because you need things, you need extra things, because you always ask me for things. So you need extra things. The salary I'm earning is not good enough. So I need this extra income for me to be able to provide to you guys the things you need. So with that, again, you're educating them and they understand and they learn from it, and then it gets they're being instilled by it, and then they learn as they go on, as they grow up.
Mm,
So that's another thing. I wouldn't say impose, no, just do it and then let them see and grow within it. That's
mhm.
all.
Okay. And I guess that there is the necessity to explain to them what exactly you are doing, why you are doing it, how important it is what you are doing. Because at times we may assume that because they are seeing us doing this, they have a good understanding. But sometimes you have to actually tell them, put them down, and explain why you are doing it, what you are doing, which is very, very necessary. So we've been live for about 1 hour, 24 minutes, and we are gradually um, going towards the end of our show. So we are gradually going towards the end of our show. So my next question is, if you look around us, whether here in the UK, in the US, in Cameroon, or other parts of Africa, there are so many young women. There are so many as a single moms. There are so many widows out there who do not still have anything to do. I would like you here to how what would you advise them, whether they are still married or whether they are single or they are widows? What advice would you give them as far as being a mompreneur is concerned? Linda?
Mm. Um,
Uh,
I know it's a little bit difficult given the financial situation or their financial background, how they are. Um, I for one, it's if they've got someone to support them as little as they can,
hello.
Mm-hmm.
and let them try and make their own ends meet. You know, if the little they have, if they can invest into it, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't need much. It's
Yeah.
like, again, I will go back to my Juice Plus business as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have come across lots of ladies who, when they were first introduced to Juice Plus, they didn't even have the money to pay to join the business,
Mm-hmm.
because to join the business in England is £50, in the US is $52, in Canada as well, in Europe is the same, 52 euros. Some women didn't even have that. They didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But they managed to start with that. They got it from somewhere and they started with that, you know. And usually what usually Juice Plus does, they pay your commissions, you know. So in the sense that back home, the little you have, that's where I'm gearing towards to. The little you have, if you can start something, start. I mean, even selling foolery, I mean, it's something back home. If you it's more of buy and sell.
Mm-hmm.
If you can start as little as something, don't think big. Don't think big. Everybody starts from somewhere for as little as something. And because sometimes we always think big and we don't really materialize it. It's not real. So it's
Yeah.
from the little money you have, even if it's 10,000, 20,000, you can do something back home. That's the advice I would say. Don't think too big. Just start from little that you've
Mm.
got. And
Okay.
then one thing I'm gonna say is prayers, prayers, prayers. Yes, have faith in yourself. Don't
Mm-hmm.
lose your confidence. Don't. Even if you've had a bad day, don't give up. Because sometimes you get beaten down, but don't give up.
Yeah.
That's the advice I'll give.
Oh, thank you so much. And Linda, what would you tell them?
What would I tell other moms, other people who are to start something? I'll say you can start with something that you already know, an existing skill.
Mm-hmm.
Um, somebody will say, but I'm not hands-on. I don't really know how to do stuff. I'm not creative. You're
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to always create a physical product,
Yeah,
and you cannot always do. Sorry, Nathan is talking.
that's okay.
Um, sometimes also you can also join an existing business
Mm-hmm.
where you earn a commission, just like what Martha had explained. So you have to first of all make up your mind that I'm going to do something. I'm going to be passionate about what I'm going to do. It has to be intentional. If you don't make your mind up, you won't get to anywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
if you quit, you will not get to anywhere. You have to make your mind up. I'm
Yeah.
going to be motivated. If you can't self, if you can't motivate yourself, then listen to motivational speakers.
Yeah.
Find out, start with other women around you or other people around you that really push you. Something, some people you resonate with. It's not everyone that you really listen to. It's not every preacher that you listen to and you're moved. Start with people that move you, people
Mm-hmm.
that you can draw inspiration from, and then
Yeah.
get that inspiration. Tell yourself that, oh, if this person is doing this and she sees that anyone can do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going also to try my best and I'm going to get there, and
Yeah.
believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can start with what you already know. In my case, I'll talk about my experience when I was in uni.
Mm-hmm.
When I made these picture frames, my parents didn't even know that I was doing it. So I
Mm-hmm.
was doing it for myself, and I was doing it because I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
was not suffering. They gave me all the money that I needed for me to be able to pay my fees and to
Mm.
pay my rent. But like every other student, you run dry and you run short of pocket money. But when I thought I could go back to ask, the thing is, why should I always, can I try to make something for myself? And
Mm-hmm.
then I'll go ahead and make my picture frames or do my friend's hair and I'll get little pocket money here and there. Oh gosh, I'm running low on battery. Um, so yeah, I will knock at the doors of my friends when I made my picture frames. I will go from door to door in my mini city and
Yeah.
in our hostel we call it in English, and I will advertise my picture frame. Oh, I've got picture frame for sale. Does anybody need a picture frame? And I'll make a few sales, and
Mm-hmm.
then you never know, from by word of mouth you get more people, and I'll contact shops as well. In those days, back in the day, I really give myself, so you do something. You have to actively do something. You can't sit and let things happen. Things will not happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
Try, make
Yeah.
contact, believe in yourself, and if you're having those down days, try to do something that can lift you, like playing music. Listen to music that will lift you, and or some words that will lift you. You start with affirmations. Do something that is going to set you towards the right path to be able to be um to be able to do what you want to do, to be able to set the right path for you to start your
Mm-hmm.
day on a good, yeah,
Wow.
on a good path.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. And Faye, over to you. What would you advise other women out there?
My advice to a single girl, a married woman, or a widow would be, we are in a society whereby we've got all the tools and resources to do whatever we want to do. We've got the internet. Back in the days, we didn't have the opportunity that we've got today, the great opportunity that we've got today, that you can sit in your house on your bed and do business.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike before, where you could, if you have to sell tomatoes, you have to go behind the market, look for a place to sit there. But you can sell on your mobile phone without even leaving from your bedroom. You can sell lying on your bed. We
Yeah.
all have that resource, or we've all got that tool and that resource, which is our mobile phone and the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, you have to know your why. Why are you doing something?
Mm-hmm.
Because as a single girl, you definitely have things you need to solve, issues, problems. You don't need to depend on boys. You need to build that independence from being a single girl. I'm talking from my experience. Like Linda said, you can, I don't think you actually need a lot of physical cash to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Even 1,000 francs, like I always say to my friends, are like, oh, I said you can use 1,000 francs to make it into 10,000. I speak because I did that. I
Mm-hmm.
used to go to Okrika. I guess you all know that. I will buy stuff for 10,000 francs, go to Yaoundé and make 50,000 francs from that 10,000 francs. Because I knew my why. I knew why I needed that money. I
Mm-hmm.
needed extra pocket money. I needed to do stuff for myself without depending on boys and men back then.
Mm-hmm.
And as a married woman, you need the money equally. You're married, but you need that financial independence as well. And
Yeah.
if you become a widow someday, you've got kids to raise, you've got people looking up to you. So you need that extra money. to help people out there, help your family, and especially your kids. So my advice, another advice is do not listen to people. People who try to talk you out from the things you want to do. You go play head balogna, illiterate their work that this is that, that is that. Honestly, people say that. People say
Yeah,
horrible things.
they're discouraging, true.
Yeah, so you don't have to listen to people. Focus on the people who inspire you. If you look at people who have made it in life, they all have a story.
Yeah,
If you're
true.
inspired by someone, go back to read their story.
Mm-hmm.
And like she rightly said, you resonate with their story. Because I always connect with those people that their story is close to mine. We all have a story.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, if someone is an example to your story, or someone has taken a story that is almost like your story and made something great out of it, definitely you can do it. There's
Yeah.
nothing stopping. We are the only people stopping ourselves. No one can stop you. So you just need to put yourself out there in this social media world. You cannot make it as well without putting yourself out there, because a lot of my friends are, I don't know me how I feel do like you. Come on, this is the world we are. This is the real world we are in now.
Mm.
Social media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always say Facebook is a marketplace.
it is.
Instagram is a marketplace.
It
There's
Yes.
is.
no way you can do business in this social media world without putting yourself out there. Even if you don't put out yourself, there are other ways, especially with us in Europe. There's eBay. There are just too many places where you can sell without putting yourself out there to get an extra income, like passive income. There are ways. You must not put yourself out there. It's just knowing your why. Why are you doing it? What do you need this for? And I
Mm,
think we all need that extra income. If
Yeah.
someone says they don't, they're lying. So we just need to put ourselves out there and, go for it. That's all I can say.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Well done, everyone. And we are actually gone to the end of our questions. And I think Linda is having either network problems or her battery has run down. So before we end the show, I would just like to each and every one of you to give your final words and a final advice to someone who may be struggling and wondering how to start, where to start in order to become a mompreneur or an entrepreneur. So if you have any final words or words of advice, you can give them then before we end the show. And I just want to thank everyone who is watching. I'm really grateful for the time you've taken to watch almost to the end of the show. We appreciate you all. And over to you, Martha, your final words.
wow. Thank you. It's been an amazing show. I have enjoyed Patience, Linda, and Clarice.
Mhm.
One thing I would say we all have something in common, and that thing in common is passion.
Yeah.
We have the passion to do what we're doing right now. And one thing I'm going to encourage each and everyone out there, widows, single mothers, married women as well. No one is left out. All women is that follow your dreams, follow your passion for what you like to do, what you love to do. Let nobody stops you. Even if you don't have any money, as little as you can start with that. That's the advice I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Don't dream too. Yes, you can have dreams. It's true. Have dreams.
Exactly.
Have bigger dreams. But the
Mm.
reality in life is we have to start from somewhere, and
Yeah.
that and you could start very little with very little in your hands. You don't need much, and from there you can build. You can build a kingdom. You can build whatever you want. So
Mhm.
do not relent your effort. Be consistent. Stay positive as well. That's another thing. Because
Mhm.
sometimes we are being beaten down by negative things around us. And like what Patience said before, um, look out for people who bring in positivity in your life. Look at the motivational speakers. They say something. I know there are so many of them out there, but you pick and choose what you want to learn, how you want to build your life. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone who has watched this program today will not leave without learning and unlearning. So, Linda, what do you have to tell them as your final word today?
Um, yeah, as final word, I want to just say, um, don't be afraid to start. Just put fear aside. Fear is the worst enemy. Believe in yourself and don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid. Fear is your worst enemy. Don't be afraid to ask and don't be afraid to start. If I can do it, you can do it too. I I am owner of DS Designs. DS Design is a work in progress. My message that I try to give is you can do it too. When I'm creating and when I go out there to craft shows, that is what I always tell people. That if I can do this, I don't see the reason why some other person can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Space may be a limitation for you, but when I'm creating, I remind myself that I may not have exactly kind of space that I have to create. I don't have a showroom of my own to do stuff, a
Mm-hmm.
workroom, but there is somebody in the world somewhere that has less space than me that is doing more than what I'm able to do.
Yeah,
So you tell yourself that nothing is going to stop you. I bet you're going to achieve very productive results. So don't be afraid to try.
thank you so much. And I would just like to say thank you to each and every one of you for sacrificing your time to talk on our show today and everyone who has been watching. And then to end, I would like to say most often being a mompreneurs, being entrepreneurs, there are times where you feel like, oh, friends and families are not supporting me. I'm sure each and every one of you would have experienced that. If you've had that, if you've reached that stage where you feel like they are not supporting you, this is very important. So I use this for my Monday motivation last Monday, but I'd just like to mention it here today. If you are worried that your friends or your family or any other person is not supporting what you are doing, don't worry anymore because you have to prioritize your passion. You also have to know that life is very, very short and you don't really have that time to spend on people not supporting you or not in agreement with what you are doing. Then at times people may not support you because you they don't actually understand what you are doing. And you look critically, they may just need a little bit of education and more understanding on what you are doing. And again, we may be worried that they are not supporting us and that it's a fault on our part. It is not. It may be because of they're not supporting us because of their own insecurities. And sometimes one never knows. Jealousy sometimes jealousy steps in as well. So being a mompreneur, we really have to put all of this at the back of our mind and also working on our mindset as well and to continue to be positive as Matt, as you all said, you know who you connect with and you pick and choose as Martha said. And again, remember that you cannot please everyone. It's just impossible. And the most important thing to remember with all of this is in as much as you feel that your friends your families do not understand you, bear in mind that there's that one person who is supporting you, and always remember to appreciate that one person. So we've come to the end of our show today, and you have a good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for everyone who has been watching, and see you again next Saturday for another edition of Let's Give It a Voice here at the Voice of Hope with myself, Clarice Angafor. Stay blessed, stay tuned, and love you always. Ciao.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Bye, ladies.